Feels like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Yellow.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's caught. It's Xavier Worthy. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 39. It's a pickup of 15 and a first set of downs. First down. A gain of 15. First down, Kansas City. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. From the gun, a give to Mitchell. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. They'll wind up getting 4 down to 36.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off.
Pretty decent game.
3rd and 6.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Ford. We'll try and do this, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Operating from the gun, Davenport. He finds his man, complete. That's wrong. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Up the middle they go. It's rough. To the 22-yard line. The Lions had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. And they come in losers in 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess. That allows for extra yardage on the return.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. You talk about this Lions defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
And being able to set the tone early in this game, because when you get down to it, it's that sign that we saw in their football facility when we visited with them. The one that said no explosives, no big plays, no chunk plays. That's what they've got to take care of.
Operating from the gun, Ford. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Sam Laporta, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. The kicker on for the extra point. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Davenport. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 37-yard line. Looking to throw. Davenport. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards.
The pressure came off of the corner, and while they recognized it and turned it into a big play, I'm looking at the defense on that one, because when you do bring extra pressure, you have to rotate someone over for coverage, and I think he was a step too late and gave up a big play.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Back to throw. Davenport. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. From 3 yards out. And the Lions are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have. You absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Another run with Mitchell. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. 59 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Second and 4. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
As a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam, because that receiver all alone by rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Davenport. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
On 1st down, Roth. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Davenport. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 28. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. first down. It's Roth. Rather with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
60 Bison, 60, trap 60.
Operating from the gun, Davenport. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs will take over here at their own 12-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Ain't that right? And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before it's taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
A gain of 30. First down, Chiefs.
Operating from the gun, Ford. Incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
And it's 3rd down.
Back to throw. Ford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. His 2nd catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Back to the ground here, Mitchell. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
And it might, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought not their best reps in the first just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect him to come out, continue to throw the ball effectively.
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Davenport. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this out to the 34, out of bounds there.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Lions come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
All you hear from coaches and personnel directors in the NFL, how difficult it is for a rookie receiver to have an impact on the game. So much to learn, so much offense to absorb. Looks like he's picking it up pretty well.
I would say so. And how about that for your first career NFL touchdown?
I don't know that he envisioned it quite that way, but if he was smart, he probably dreamed about it a little bit.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent is still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Second and 10. Off the play fake. 4. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And not enough on the throw that time, as that one is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Here's Williams to return. So possession goes over here on the play. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
60 Eagle, 60 Eagle. Go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
18, right here. Panther 11, Panther 11. 60,
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man complete. That's right. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
At the 44-yard line.
Track him, 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Back to throw. Davenport. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Lions are able to widen their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Ford. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he's brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 22-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That'll be caught by Rice. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
The Lions take over.
The
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Davenport. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Aubrey good with a great team. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Chiefs 10.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Operating from the gun. Ford. From the left side here, it's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught downfield. It's Worthy. And they go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 24-yard gain on the play. First down, Kansas City.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. They gain him just a yard, and that'll bring up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Off play action. Ford. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Back to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
This is real simple. When you're in 5 wide receiver formation, you don't have a lot of time to dilly-dally back there. You've got to get the ball out and with some dispatch, because a lot of the aggressive defensive teams in the league, they see 5 wide receiver sets, they're automatically bringing pressure.
And they brought the pressure. He held on to it a little too long. Winds up getting hit as he releases it. That's to his running back, complete. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. This is caught. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Chiefs. First down.
Mitchell is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point forthcoming. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now.
Lions 28, Chiefs 17.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking technical.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Partner, that would look like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Off the play fake. Ford. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see the defender of his caliber let it get away. But get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Operating from the gun. Forward. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. This offense on 3rd down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and forever. Looking to throw. Ford. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Ford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 39.
13 yards on the play. That's good for a Kansas City Chiefs.
Again, he'll drop the throw.
First down.
And his throw is incomplete.
Intended for number 8.
And their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when we saw the route go deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Mahomes to throw once more. Got his man complete over the middle. It's caught. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
It's 4th down.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. Mahomes now to throw. That is caught by Rice. Touchdown, Kansas City. From 21 yards away. And the Chiefs have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure.
And he will get into the end zone as a two-point conversion is successful, and the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after next play, move on, next drive? That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Operating from the gun, Davenport. And he'll find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
And he fires one incomplete.
Intended for number 88, incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Long. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That good for 22 and a first down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there. Gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Right back to him on first down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a 1-score game. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
Let's go. 70 Lions. Let's go.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. That is intercepted. And now look at him go. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
They'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10.
Dragon 60. 18, Pioneer. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Buffalo 18. Ready.
Throwing after the interception. Davenport. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
I want the money, the cash, the moolah, the bag, the currency, stacking it up. We want the freedom to live and the freedom to have. The things we've been lacking, my bro, so what are we lacking? I can point it out, so much that's around. Better settle down, no point doing that.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. He'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw is made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Final minute of play. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. He's got it at the 15. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
15-yard line.
Back to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Just over 50 seconds remain. Here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Roth. And effective running here. They'll take it down inside the 10. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
An important one here, no doubt. 3rd and 4. He's back to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Bronco 80. 79 Bronco. Check go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead. And also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Unable to corral him. Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And the Lions have recovered. So problems there on the return. Very costly. Not what you need when you just surrendered the lead.
Not at all, because this now has a chance to really snowball on them quickly. Their offense was on the sidelines talking about getting on the field and getting that score back.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Roth.
And he will have a Lions first down, and that's the one that should seal a victory. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Detroit, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.